Namaste, welcome to the class. Sadhan Siddha Brahmana. Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Swastika. In the previous class, we discussed about the chapter light. Before we start about the today's topic, now I am asking some question. Okay, so my first question is, what is light? What is light? So light is a natural agent that stimulates the sight and makes the thing visible. So light is a natural agent that stimulates the sight and makes the thing visible. Depending upon the emitting of light, how many types of objects are there? How many types of objects are there? Yes, there are two types of objects. What are the two types of objects? First one is luminous object and second one is non-luminous object. Non-luminous object. So what is luminous objects? The objects or the objects which emits their own light or which have their own light is known as luminous objects. What are the examples of the luminous objects? So the examples of the luminous objects are sun, light bulb, etc. What are the non-luminous objects? The objects which don't have their own light. These are known as the non-luminous objects. What are the examples? Examples are moon, star. We can see the moon because sun shines on the moon and we can see it. If there is no sun, we cannot see the moon because sun shines on the moon and we can see the moon. Okay? After that, my third question is, what is the reflection of light? So we know that when a ray of light from the source, here is source, when a ray of light from the source falls on an object, here is the object, this object is a plain mirror, okay? This is the object. When a ray of light falls on an object and it may get passed through it or it may absorb by it or it bounce or reflected back, this is known as the reflection of light. When a ray of light or when a ray of light from the source falls on an object, it may pass through it, it may get absorbed by it or it may bounce or reflected back from the surface. This is known as the reflection of light. So what is reflection? The bouncing back of the light rays from the surface of an object is known as the reflection of light. What is incident ray? The ray which falls on an object. This ray is known as the incident ray. You know that? So the ray from the source falls on an object is known as the incident ray. And the ray which gets reflected from the surface of an object. Here is the object. This is a plain mirror. Okay. We know that a smooth, highly polished, reflecting surface is known as a mirror. So the ray which gets reflected from the surface of an object is known as the reflected ray. We know that this is the point of incidence. Point of incidence. What is point of incidence? The point at which incident ray falls is known as the point of incidence. Here is a normal line from the point of incidence. It is a normal. So here is the angle formed and here is also angle formed. The angle between the incident ray and the normal is known as which type of angle? Yes, angle of incidence, that is small I. And the angle between the reflected ray and the normal is known as, yes, angle of reflection, that is small r. We know that. So now my question is, what is laws of reflection? Define laws of reflection. When a ray of light falls on an object or falls on a smooth surface, it obeys some certain laws. These are known as laws of reflection. We know that there are how many types of reflection? We know that there are how many types of laws of reflection are there? Yes, there are two laws of reflection. What are the two laws? So first law is angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. What is the first law? Angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. That is in shortcut formula we know that small I equal to smaller angle. That is angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Here is the angle of incidence, that is in between incident ray and the normal. Here is angle of reflection, that is in between the normal and the reflected ray. So these two angles are equal. This is the first law of reflection. What is the second law of reflection? The incident ray, the reflected ray, normal and the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. What is the second law? Incident ray, reflected ray, normal and the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. And we discussed about this in the previous class. Now in this class we discussed about the types of the reflection. Okay, let us proceed to know about the types of reflection. Okay, so now we learn about types of reflection. We know that when a ray of light falls on a reflecting surface, it gets reflected. Yes or no? Yes. When a ray of light falls on a reflecting surface, it gets reflected. It gets reflected. But the amount and the direction of light reflected depends upon the nature of surface. Okay. So the amount and the direction of light reflected depends upon the nature of the surface. So according to the nature of the surface or depending upon the nature of the surface, there are two types of reflection. So what are the two types of reflection? Depending upon the nature of surface, there are two types of reflection. First one is regular reflection. Second one is irregular reflection. Okay. So we know that when a ray of light falls on a reflecting surface, it gets reflected. And the amount and the direction of light reflected depends upon the nature of the surface. So depending upon the nature of the surface, there are two types of reflections are there. First one is regular reflection. Second one is irregular reflection. So what is regular reflection? Regular reflection. What is regular reflection? When a ray of light falls on a smooth reflecting surface, let us take an example of the smooth reflecting surface, that is a mirror. Okay, so when a ray of light falls on a smooth reflecting surface, that is mirror, it gets reflecting from a particular direction. That is why a smooth reflecting surface gives a sharp and clear image. So reflection of a light from a smooth mirror is called regular reflection. So what is regular reflection? When a ray of light falls on a smooth surface and it gets reflected on a particular direction, along a particular direction is known as regular reflection. Example is reflection of light from a smooth mirror. Okay. So what is regular reflection? When a ray of light falls on a smooth mirror, it gets reflected along a particular direction. This is known as regular reflection. That means when a ray of light falls on a smooth mirror, it obeys or it gets reflected along a particular direction. This is known as the regular reflection. So what is the example? Here is a mirror. When a ray of light or when a beam of light falls on an object, it gets reflected along a particular direction. This is known as regular reflection. Okay. When a ray of light falls on a smooth mirror, plain mirror, it gets reflected along a particular direction. This is known as regular reflection. So what is regular reflection? We know that. So how do you know? We know that when a ray of light falls on a smooth surface, it gets reflected on a particular direction. This is known as the regular reflection. Okay. So now let us learn about irregular reflection. Now irregular reflection. So what is irregular reflection? When light rays falls on a rough, irregular reflecting surface, they get reflected in different directions. So when light rays falls on a irregular or rough reflecting surface, they get reflected in different directions. As a result, the reflected light falls over a large area and the image form is not sharp and clear. This type of reflection is known as irregular or diffuse reflection. So, another name of irregular reflection is diffuse reflection. When light rays falls on irregular surface, or rough reflecting surface, it gets reflected in different direction. This type of reflection is known as irregular reflection. So let us see. This is a rock surface. When light rays falls on this surface, it reflected in different direction. It get reflected in different direction. This is known as, this type of reflection is known as irregular or diffuse reflection. In this type of reflection, the image formed is not sharp and clear, but in case of the regular reflection, the image formed is clear and sharp. Reflection of light from a wall, a paper, any other common object, irregular or diffused reflection. Okay? So what do you know from types of reflection? We know that when a ray of light falls on a reflecting surface, it gets reflected. But the amount and direction of the light gets reflected depends upon the nature of the surface. So, depending upon the nature of the surface, there are two types of reflection. First one is regular reflection and second one is irregular reflection. Here is a question. How many types of reflection are there depending upon the nature of the surface? So you have to write the answer there. There are two types of reflection depending upon the nature of surface. If question arises, what are the two types of reflections depending upon the nature of the surface? You have to write the answer there. Depending upon the nature of the surface, there are two types of reflection. First one is what? Yes, regular reflection, and second one is irregular reflection. What are irregular reflections? When light rays falls on a smooth surface, it gets reflected on a particular direction. When this is a smooth surface, this is the, let us take example here. When ray of light or when rays of light falls on a reflecting surface, it gets reflected on a particular direction. This is known as regular reflection, and it gives clear and sharp image. If question arises, in which reflection or which type of reflection gives clear and sharp image? This is the regular reflection. Reflection of light from a smooth mirror is a regular reflection. In case of the irregular reflection, when rays of light falls on a rock surface, it gets reflected in different direction. This is known as what? This is known as irregular reflection. In this type of reflection, this reflection does not give clear and sharp image. Okay. So today this much. If you have any doubt regarding this type of reflection, you can call me. Now I am just asking some question based on today's class. You will write the answer and send it to my personal WhatsApp number. Okay. Here are some questions. You will write the answer of this question and send it to my personal WhatsApp number. So the first question is, reflection of light from a wall is a dash reflection. Reflection of a light from a wall is a dash type of reflection. You have to write the reflection name. Second question is, reflection of light from a smooth mirror is called dash reflection. The reflection from a smooth mirror is known as which reflection? You have to write it. Third question is, dash reflection gives clear and sharp image. Which reflection gives us clear and sharp image? Another name of irregular reflection is dash. You have to write the another name of the irregular reflection. Fifth question is, reflection of light from a paper is a dash reflection. The reflection from a paper, reflection light from a paper is a which type of reflection? You have to write this. And these are the very easy questions. If you watch this video mindful, then definitely you will answer this question. You will write the answer and send it to my personal WhatsApp number. Okay? Thank you.